Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Mutant here. Today we're going to continue our quest with Dora, our Sword Saint Magus, and his two assistants. We have, of course, a undead, custom-made Eldritch Scoundrel, as well as a mercenary who is an Inquisitor that summons pets. Basically, between the two of them, they basically handle all the shenanigans, and we just let Sword Saint run in and do all the damage. For those of you who've never played the game before, know that I am using mods. Turn-based combat's going to be one of the most obvious things that you'll notice that I have that you don't in the vanilla version of the game. Other stuff that's probably of importance would be things like Eldritch Arcana. Gives me some spells that you don't have necessarily, some traits that you don't have for sure because they didn't implement them in the game until this mod. And we also have a couple feats that, again, are something that's relatively new. So if you see something that I have that you don't, chances are that's what we're talking about. There are cheats in here as well. Notice that I do have Bag of Tricks cheats and tools. I'll show you those as we actually use them. I don't really use those. I use them in the very beginning of the game just to make my character a little more uber, just for giving him every spell at level 1. I figured for someone who's been venturing, even with him only being a level 1 adventurer, it seems a little weird for him not to have all his spells because, again, they have a spell book. Why wouldn't your master give you everything he could, or she, to make sure that you're awesome? So I gave him every spell at level 1 and even one spell at level 2. He couldn't use it right at the beginning, but he can use it now. With that, though, let's get into the game, shall we? Now, if you recall, excuse me, from our last episode, we were at the Tenebris Depths, and we're still going down through the Tenebris Depths. This is a standalone DLC that you can do, again, as a standalone, or it can be implemented into the actual gameplay, which is what I'm doing. If you implement it into the gameplay, it's a set map each time, 1 through 20, I want to say. You can find online pictures of what the maps look like. And that is important because there's stuff that is hidden. If you don't make the right perception check, you may not see the hidden room, the hidden treasure. And it is important that you get all these things. Pause the game real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. So again, we're on the Tenebris Depths level 7. We have burnt through 3 levels. Every 4 levels, on the 4th level, there's a boss. So we're working towards 8 because there's a boss fight there. And at that point, they'll lock us out of going any further. We'll come back again. It'll be oh, the veil has been lifted, and now come back and kick the next boss's ass kind of thing. So it's a common theme. But again, the floor design is important because if you're not hitting every room, you could be missing out on A, treasure, and B, a piece of treasure that you definitely need. Well, not definitely need, that you want to have. Let me put it that way. If you go by date newest to oldest, you'll see that we've already started picking up some of these items. Map of the Fallen Fighter is one, and we also have... where are you at? Vials of the Fallen Alchemist is a fine example. We even have animate dead spells. And also we'll get these items here, these time-worn, empty lockpicks, blah, blah, blah. Basically, if you see time-worn, chances are that's something important. But notice these ones. The Map of the Fallen Fighter, and again, that other one that I just mentioned, the Vials of the Fallen Alchemist. There's one on every floor. Now, we've picked up 2 of the items that we're talking about. We need to get every item on each floor. So I think I'm still missing an item. Prove that to myself. Time worn, stainless. Yes, I think so. So we're still missing an item, and that's actually very important because if you have all these items from floor 4, 5, 6, and even 5, 6, 7, and even one on 8, where the boss is actually at. If you have them before you fight the boss drops a special item. I'll show you the one that dropped at level 4. It is this shield right here. Shield of the Weary Traveler. It tells you something of the backstory of the Tenebris Depths. And again, from what I understand, if you find all the items from all 4 bosses before fighting the big final 5th boss, which is the spawn of Rovaga, who's supposed to be really mean and uber annoying, you get a secret ending for this mission quest where literally you fight another big bad boss. And again, definitely something worth interesting to me that I want to actually explore. So we definitely want to do that. Excuse me, I need to get a sip of soda here. I went outside. Goodness. I went outside and I think it flared up my allergies. So don't be concerned. I'm sure I'm fine. Let's see here. So again, we want to get everything from each floor. We can backpedal up the floors. The downside is if you've already missed the secret stash because your perception check wasn't there, you probably haven't leveled up in a way that's going to allow you to find the next item. So I actually think we're okay But now that I think about it, I wonder if we actually are. Let me actually check that one more time, guys. Newest to oldest. Find hide. I'm going to drop stuff. We'll pick it back up. Don't worry about that. I'm dropping it for a reason. Drop you. Okay, let's see. So I put away... This stuff should be all new here. Mayor Varn, that was back at our capital. This stuff is just sky metal stuff, yeah. Ancient cover scrap. There it is, Book of the Fallen Knights. Okay. I knew there was a third. So, I'm dropping it for a reason. Now we're going to pick it right back up again. Now if we do that, if I'm right, they should be the last things on our list. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we got them side by side by side. So when we order them by date, it'll be a lot easier for us to find them, to make sure that we have everything. We are getting ready to head down to the next level. I suggest we just straight up do it. While we have our buffs still on us. We may want to camp, which means going back upstairs, selling off stuff, which is easy enough to do. Let me show you how we do that. Each floor of the Tenabra Steps has a portal back to the top. You could go up the stairs, but you'll have to literally go up through every flight of stairs. So they give you a portal, so you can just boop, teleport right back to the top, basically outside. So if you want to come back to where you left off, just teleport back down through the portal. Easy peasy, pumpkin squeezy. Now, the reason this is important for us is it allows us to sell to 2 different vendors that are outside, and those vendors have gear. Now, the gear isn't usually highly impressive if you're using it as part of the gameplay, which is what I'm doing. If you're doing it as a standalone, the DLC has just its own little mission. It's a good place to test your characters out. They have epic loot. So again, it's one of those places where you can literally capitalize on building a character kind of like you wanted in the first place. Now I am going to check out our stuff here, make sure it's not something I want to delete or sell per se. Ooh, Row of Air, that's nice. That does extra DC bonuses to any electric spell. But I think we're good. And again, we can just sort through his stuff here. I usually go through the highest, so price in descending order, so the most expensive stuff's on top. So I get a feel for what he has. Now most of the stuff we gave him, some of the stuff that we didn't, is nice, but you know, the best here being the Dark +3, and I just can't seem to care. So the other vendor is this character over here, the dragon. And again, he doesn't have any more gear, or she, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, I think it's a he. I don't think they have any more gear that's fancy like his either. They have maybe 1 or 2 pieces of stuff, but compared to what we have, they're pretty much a joke. But you can still sell to them too. Notice that we can camp here. Pause the game, because first I want to go through my characters to see how our spells are doing. He's still doing okay. Jubiloth has no bombs. Okay, now that's the reason we wanted to rest. Alright, the question would be, do we have everything that we want? Now, I've given myself a couple decent protection spells here. One after the other, obviously, so when one wears off or someone dispels it, for instance, I have the ability to recast it. And then I'm basically loading up on Intensified Shocking Grasp. This is a thing that I have that you don't in the vanilla version of the game, a meta magic feat that allows me to push spells beyond their limits. So this 5d6 that you're seeing here, it can actually be up to a 10d6 for me. And that's amazing. That's a huge, huge damage surge for me. And you'll notice it's still a level 1 spell because of the way I've done stuff. I have some ways to light up invisible targets, but I'm kind of leery of having 2 of those. I don't mind Blur twice. Maybe I should get myself my own Bull Strength. I've been putting this one on Knock Knock because he's weak. And this will give me a little juice, only like another +2 to my strength because I already have a magical belt. But still, every little bit helps. And then from here, Team Buff, AoE Team Friendly debuff to other bad guys. Something that literally can screw the bad guys over so long as we're protected from it. Again, the ability to give myself a touch attack, which is, again, extremely beneficial. I probably don't need a teleport. So having said that, let's actually be smart about this. Let's get some more of those Dragon Breaths in there. There's a lot of really good stuff with that. I suppose if I wanted to be crazy, I could go Stone Skin. This allows me with Diamond Dust, which I'll have to purchase if I don't have it on me, to shield myself from physical damage. Basically, it's like a temp hit point pool, if you want to think of it that way. And that does help, don't get me wrong. But we've been actually doing pretty okay with straight up just not being hit. Now, I could go a little crazy, do something like Shout. Now, you may wonder why go Shout for one, compared to Dragon's Breath, and this is the Intensified Dragon's Breath, which again, I can take higher than the 12d6. I can take that to 17d6. This one does 5d6. And you're like, why bother? Well, here's the thing. This one has a standard action. It literally has a save or suck effect to it, right? Successful save negates the stun effect, AoE stun, which is really nice. But notice it is not affected by spell resistance. And while this one says it's not affected by spell resistance, that is a lie. I don't know why that has never been fixed or patched or whatever, or just fix the typing here so it's accurate. But it's clearly wrong. So if I need to hit something and just do damage in mass, even if it's a tiny amount of damage, and it's one of those where, you know, the tiniest little bit will take these bastards out, but I'm coming up on that wall of they have too much spell resistance, too much spell resistance. Well, now I have a spell in my kitty that allows me to do damage. From here, I'm happy with the choices that we picked. We got a controlled fireball that's been intensified, so that's going to be 15d6 of damage, teammate friendly. I can even do that for a wall of fire. I'm not going to. I have a couple different spells, so I got cold damage, I got fire, I got acid, and I got, of course, protection for myself. Still not high enough to be level 6, but we're like a stone's throw away from that, so I'm really looking forward to start using some of these techniques with you. Specifically acid fog, which is going to be amaze balls. You get some acid protection for you and your team. You guys can stand inside that cloud and just watch the health just peel off the bad guys. So really, really solid choices. Now for other people, we're probably fine with what they had. I'm not going to get crazy here. But if something was amiss, I probably would have known it by now. The only one that probably would worry me here is he never seems to use True Strike. So we might as well just put something in there, the actual use. So how about another Expeditious Retreat? Sure, why not? Where you at? So in case I have to double up on these two spells, you know, one time it wears off and then I have another set to recast it. I'm a big fan of having doubles. So now we want to take a knee. Everybody rested. Good, let's do this. Now you'll even notice that I still have my wings. Those wings actually last for the ones that I cast on myself. They last for 1 hour per caster level, and I'm caster level 15. So I just took an 8-hour nap, got all my spells back, including that one, and this buff is still on me. So that does actually exist in this game. For those of you that have actually done that and you're like, why do I still have some of these effects still on me? Mage Armor is another fine example. It's a solid upgrade. Now you'll notice that the map that we're in, not only are we in map 8, which is boss fight territory, so we have to be real careful here. So we need to do a quick save, so we can have a point to come back to in case we mess something up. B, we need to clearly buff up. But you'll notice the purple effect here. The purple effect lets you know that there's probably disease or poison in this floor. So we're going to use Communal Delay Poison from Jubiloth, because why not? Let's give everyone the ability to see invisibility, because why the hell not? I don't know that anyone's going to take any kind of specific damage, so I'm going to hold off on that one. But I'm going to buff him like we're going to take on the entire floor, because we clearly are staying here until this floor is dead now. So there's no reason to curb your enthusiasm. You'll also know that I have two mutagens that I can use, right? 2 uses per day, I should say. Notice I have a Strength 1, a Dex 1, and a Con 1. Dex is usually his favorite, as he likes to toss his bombs and be accurate. But all are viable options. If you want him to tank, you know, more health is always a viable option. So Con is a solid choice. But the point is, I have 2 uses per day, where most alchemists only have 1. If you watch the previous videos, you'll see that I gave him a trait, let me just show it to you, that's specific to him as an alchemist, and it's called Noble Family. We did a campaign trait, Noble Born, Noble Family. We had to pick one. We picked Lebeda, and then they have a list of things that you can pick from. The only one that makes sense for him is he gets an extra alchemy mutagen per day. That's awesome. That's an amazing upgrade. So literally, I don't want to cast it now, or again, because he already has one and they don't stack, I don't think. But he has this for like another hour and 50 minutes. When this runs out, or if we get into a kerfuffle, you know, travel on the overland map, I don't have to, gee, do I really want to use this now? Well, I have to. Use one now, use one later. By the time that they're done and over with, you'll rest up and you'll get them back. So it's a nice upgrade for him. That's why I did that. We want to make sure that he's upgraded for extra accuracy, which again means more dexterity. Reduced person is more dexterity. And you'll notice I also gave him Fox's Cunning. This is a way for him to literally have a higher intelligence stat. The reason that that's important for him, this intelligence bonus here, the bonus is added to the damage of his bombs. And it includes the splash damage to those bombs as well. So if the splash damage would have been 5, it would be 5 plus 7. So that's 12 damage I did to everybody in an AoE effect. Not counting, of course, the main target who got hit with the big bomb. So again, a solid upgrade to this is invaluable. Same with dexterity. A solid upgrade to this means he's more likely to hit with his bombs or his ranged attacks. So again, invaluable. That's why I buffed him with those 2 spells. Now, eventually, we'll get him gear that gives him a higher intelligence than this +4 that I'm giving him. Or a belt that'll give him... Oh, I've been wasting catch grace on him for no good reason. Look at that. I should give it to him for strength. Oh, well, now I know that. Let's actually do that. Notice the extra slot, that's a lie. That's because we just buffed his intelligence. I want to put on... What? Nothing. There is nothing on here I want to... I guess we'll put on Cure Moderate in case he needs to heal himself in a pinch. I thought I had Bull Strength, but I didn't have it learned, apparently. But that's a reason for that. What the point with that was is he already has a belt on that's giving him the ability to have a higher dexterity of +4. They don't stack. It's whichever is the highest number. So I basically wasted that spell. That this one right here, Cat's Grace, is nothing. It didn't do a damn bit of good for him. It's okay. He's
any
done,
brilliant ideas?
Except for Expeditious Retreat. I want to go faster. He moves very slow because he's a teeny tiny person. I'll give him aid too, just because it's a little hit point bump. Shield buff herself up. Shield stun. A nice blur. They miss me 20% of the time now. And then that's basically all she's got. We got a Ring of Bless. We'll just activate that now. He can buff himself or the team with some Remove Fear, which is a decent-ish buff for being resistant to fear effects. I have my character. Blur for him. Bull Strength for him. He has a belt of Strength +2, but the Bull Strength is +4. So it's to his benefit to cast that on him. Still goes up only 2 points, but still 2 points. And while I have wings that they carried over, that's these guys here. These lesser wings have the same effect, they just don't last as long, and I can cast them on another teammate. So we cast it on her, our tank. She's awesome because she has the ability not only to do Shield of Faith for herself, for me, for even Knock Knock here. She has all kinds of buffs and debuffs besides this. She's an Inquisitor, so she's kind of like a battle cleric in my opinion.
In due time.
Now we've saved on purpose because again, if we ever run into the boss without finding that gear, magical item, or whatever of the fallen somebody, then we need to find the path to them. So we'll need to go back and save to an earlier save spot. So we have apparently a room full of spiders. So a common trick for me is to kill as many things as I can with a first attack. But there's no reason to save your spells here. This is not like the outside world where you're going to be like, oh gee, am I going to come across another battle? You know you are. You might as well make this battle easy and then go from there. I want him to move up on that spider like that. Eliza's turn. Now she is our Inquisitor, but she also is an Inquisitor that's a special class because she has this monster summoning ability multiple times in a day, and her monsters last for minutes per caster level instead of rounds per caster level. So she has pets that are long-lasting pets. Extremely helpful, especially for just straight up confusing the battlefield with bad guys. We got so many spiders on us right now, but they don't know what to shoot at. Knock Knock help. He's just straight up slice and dice man. So we just send him to something that needs to be sneak attacked, basically, and killed.
Knock Knock used to lighting enemies on fire first. Be easier if you not fight back.
I'm putting him over here so he can get around these spiders. Looks like we have their own alchemist over here throwing bombs. See that? But he's taking out our lizards, which we could care less about because they're just temporary teammates. Evil Lost, on the other hand, he's here ready to rock and roll, and I see this Deadeye here. While I can't throw bombs that far, I can shoot him. Boom. Solid damage right there. This guy's tough. Don't kid yourself. But that was definitely a round worthy of Evil Lost. Oops, looks like we got someone that's messing with Knock Knock now. Looks like we got fire damage to worry about. So if we wanted to protect from something, fire damage would probably be the thing to protect from right now. Now we also have Protolich. This is our undead, and she is, specifically because of this mod that I can do this, she is undead just like you think. She literally can't be healed with healing spells. Inflict wound spells actually heal her. And she literally needs to avenge the fact that she was turned into the undead as part of her backstory. But she has this cool ability to summon skeletons 3 times a day. So a spell-like ability. This is an actual spell that it's mimicking. This is the actual spell-like ability that she gets. Again, notice how it says level 0. That's because of her mastery over undead. Again, something that I specifically gave her. So this allows us, again, to flood the battlefield with extra pets. Goes a long way for keeping our team healthy and safe. Tristan, he has the ability to protect us, as you can see here, from fire or whatever else. Let's actually have him buff the team. Only works on the team, not our pets. But at the very least, that'll keep the fire monkeys here, the goblin alchemists, from setting our butts on fire completely. Dora's turn. Back to us. Now Dora can charge stuff. And when you charge things, which is this icon here, you actually run across the battlefield to them. Hopefully you can get to them, because sometimes the AI patterning messes you up. It says you can run to it, doesn't mean you actually can, but I'm fairly certain you can get to this guy. But the point is for a penalty to your armor class for 1 combat round, you get a bonus to your swing for that 1 round as well. You only get to swing once, but you get over there and put a whooping on him. Now here's Eliza. She is not only an Inquisitor, I should have pointed out. She's an Inquisitor with a 1-level dip in traditional monk. The reason we did this was because she was going to be a high wisdom character anyway. And if you're a monk, you get to apply your wisdom as an armor class bonus. You see that +7 up there? Other? That's coming from this wisdom. So if I make her wisdom go even higher with gear, obviously, or spells, then she even gets more armor. Now she can't be wearing armor when she does that, so she's wearing robes right now. But her robes are awesome in that it makes the bad guys scared of her. So when you see that bogeyman icon pop up there, that's what it is. The bogeyman robes that she's wearing is trying to scare the target. And sometimes you'll see the target straight up fail so badly that they'll flee combat. Deadeye's doing work over there, but that's okay. Now, Knock Knock's turn.
Come here, Bax. Knock Knock's
Now, normally he does sneak attack damage, but there was no one on him. He wasn't flanking somebody. Because he's not flanking somebody, he just does normal damage, but he's still pretty potent as a damage dealer. It's just, with sneak attack, it just gets so much better. Now, Jubiloss is finally getting tired of these spiders being on our team. So he's going to take a stutter step here. That's this 5-foot step. That still allows him to do a full attack in this combat round. And what we're going to do is we're going to start throwing... Let's throw acid bombs. We never do enough acid bombs on our target. 1, 2, and if he's still alive, he would have thrown the 3rd. The reason he can do so many in a combat round, just for those of you that are wondering, my guy only throws 1. It's because we have a specific feat that you want, or excuse me, what do they call these damn things? Discoveries. The alchemists, any of the alchemists or their subclass, have something called discovery or medical discovery. It's the same damn thing. Basically, it's like feats, but only for them. And his medical his discovery that we care about is called fast bombs. For every attack he has in a combat round, he can actually throw out a bomb. Instead of it just being 1, he can throw out 2 or 3 or even more. So the goal is to get him to the point where he has not only a ton of bombs, but he has the ability to throw like 4 or 5 in 1 combat round on a single target, just wail on him. And that's basically what he does. He's basically a surge damage dealer. Now he kind of blows his wad quickly, hence the reason for wanting to get more extra bombs as some of his feat choices, but it's still a solid upgrade. You see we have a trap on the ground, we have to be careful of that. Skeletons are now done with spiders, so they're just flooding the battlefield looking for other things to attack. Thank God they're not tricking this trap. Let's see, so we have Tristan. He can shoot at this guy from here, he might as well. He's not going to be great at it, but he's better than he used to be. And that's because we gave him enchanted gear. Now, Dora's having some issues in that I can get to this guy and I only get 1 swing. Normally I'd get like 3 or 4 in a combat round. And obviously, it's easier to take out a target if you can...
We shall overcome.
Yeah, that's the AI bugging out on me. There's something over here stopping her from running back this way. Back to what I was saying. Normally we can get 3 or 4 attacks in a combat round, but because we had to move so far, you only get 1. And that's the best case scenario. Same with Knock Knock. Even if I charge this fool, he'll just get 1 attack. But it's worth it. And again, he's doing damage. Jubilost. You can't reach this guy here, he's too far away. See the red line? That's the distance for his equipped weapon, which in this case is his crossbow. Notice what happens. The red line disappears and you get this yellow line, and that's for the bombs. I highlighted the bombs making it autopilot. This is the distance for his bombs that he can throw. Obviously he can't throw as far. But because he's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from this doofus, what we can do is we can do a 5-foot stutter step and move just a little bit closer, and you can see now he's within range.
Primitives.
He gets his full 3 attacks. 1, 2, and a third. So, alright. We're going to do the same with her. We don't even have to move her. We can have her stand right where she's at. But she only gets 2 attacks, sadly. She doesn't have a rapid shot yet. Skeletons are doing work. Alright, Tristan. Might as well take your shot, man. Hey, you got it. 10 damage, we'll take it. Move a little bit closer. Now, I can actually disarm traps, so I'm just going to try to. It just gets it out of the way so we don't have to worry about whether we trip over it.
A trivial task.
And it is teammate XP. We were running solo, or with a team of 3, which is, again, me, my Inquisitor Monk, as well as my Eldritch Scoundrel Undead. And because of that, I'm actually a higher level than everybody else. And then I went a specific mission solo, where I just got a ridiculous amount of XP. Oh, no you don't. You are clearly bugging, kid. Get over here. There's something over here that's messing up where they walk. Knock, knock, come this way.
Which knife to use?
Here we are. Because he attacked at range, with a ranged weapon, and Knock Knock was on top of him, and so were the skeletons, they did a attack of opportunity, which allowed them to literally take a free swing in that combat round just as he was chucking the bomb off. Most ranged weapons work that way. There's a couple tricks that can get you away from it, but you have to have a pretty specific build to do so, and invest heavily in something to know that you want to shoot in melee combat. I'm going to take those. Just check to make sure it's not the magical whatever.
I do what I must.
Ring. We'll take everything before too long. But again, quick save before you go into the next room. Because again, if we run across that boss fight, we need to backtrack and find out where the other stuff is at. Because we still have not found the secret treasure stuff for this floor. Now here's a pillar. They're always either a knowledge or a lore pillar. I've never seen anything different. So there's either knowledge arcana, knowledge world, lore nature, or lore religion. Clicking it and passing the check will get you a teammate friendly buff for a decent amount of time, 5 to 30 minutes depending on what kind of buff we're talking about. We'll click it here in just a mo.
I did it. I did.
Ooh, Wand of Crushing Despair. That's a nice wand. Okay, again, one of the reasons I like the Tenebris Depths is it literally is a very good place to level up characters and get really solid gear, money.
That was easy.
We just passed our Arcana check. I had a 29, rolled a 20-sided die to get a 30. All I needed was a 1 or better. Now, a nat 1 may have made me fail. I don't remember if that's true or not, but all I needed was a 2 or above, think of it that way. And we got Firebrand for the whole team. One of the things that Firebrand does is, besides giving you protection from fire, which we already had on us anyway, is you'll notice that you also get this kick-ass ability here. Firebrand Beam of Fire. If you want to expend the Firebrand, basically, every person that has the buff is capable of firing off 1 fire ray spell, basically, free of charge. I mean, it actually takes your turn, but basically you get a one-shot and done kind of thing. Here, I'll demonstrate it for you. Quick save first.
Follow if you dare.
Now, I have been to this floor in the previous game before, so I know that there's going to be a boss fight through this room and I think down. So we want to actually head to the left. There's another room over here, and that's the one we want to go to first. But let's clear this room first. So here is our Firebrand Beam of Fire. Notice the distance on it. If you hover over it, you see the yellow. The pop-up menu's kind of messing it up, but you can see they're not within range. But again, I'm still capable of doing my 5-foot stutter step. Now are they? Yes, they are. And that's it. That's all it is. It's like a one and done. And notice that it actually took the Firebrand off me. Whereas everyone else has this cool looking effect, the firebrand, I'm now without it. So again, it was kind of a waste. But I did it for demonstration purposes more than anything.
Knock-knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Christian,
So
this
it's come
one.
to this.
This is the surprise round, by the way, so you may see that we don't have all 3 icons here. This is your attack. Notice that we don't have movement. We can use our attack points here to move, but then we don't get to attack. The only way to actually attack is to do a 5-foot stutter step. And we can do that, but you have to be within range of the bad guys after that to attack them. So, you know, no joy there. Proto, if she could move, why bother? She might as well just hit something. I could summon more skeletons. Nothing wrong with that. Just to give us stuff on the battlefield, we can control these spiders a bit. I'm not particularly worried about this fight. It's the next couple of waves that are particularly gnarly, if I remember correctly. Jubilos, we're going to save his bombs. So we're just going to straight up shoot this target.
Ever learn?
Sadly, he missed. And these guys probably have, yeah, built-in concealment. So, remember those spells that I had? I got rid of one. Here's an example of a spell that's awesome called Glitter Dust. Even if they pass their check, like this one did, they still get lit up like a Christmas tree. So now it's easier to see them. They're not invisible. They're not hiding from us with any real regularity.
Strike!
This guy though still has his concealment because I didn't hit him with that spell. Knock knock.
Be easier if you not fight back.
Notice how his weapons are doing extra damage from fire. That's coming specifically from his firebrand. Here. So all of our melee attacks, if not all the attacks, will have extra damage output because of that team buff that we have, which is pretty funny.
Repent!
Notice they still have their concealment over here. Well, I thought for sure that took it away. Maybe I'm thinking of Fairy Fire. Must be Fairy Fire I'm thinking of. That's a spell that Tristan has access to. This one just lights them up if they're invisible. Okay, fair enough. Let's do a 5-foot stutter step, kiddo, and use your crossbow. There we go. Skeletons will run in and do their thing. If for no other reason than just to slow them down. That's why it's so nice to have a team that has someone that can summon. I've actually done several builds in the past where I'm like, you know, a summoner build is not the worst idea ever, especially if you're going solo.
My talents.
I am going to take care of this trap instead of Knock Knock, who's better at disarming traps right now than me.
A trivial
The reason I'm doing that is because I'd rather have Knock Knock attack, as Knock Knock can do more damage when he does attack. Usually, on average, I should say. Not that my character is inferior, really. It's just Knock Knock has got a specific set of weapons that are particularly baller.
Do not hold back. We shall overcome.
Alright. Proto, shoot this
Out
one.
of my way!
There we go. And you'll notice when I'm in combat, I'm always inching a little bit closer after attacking, because I really do want to have the team close-knit together. I mean, not standing on top of each other, because AoE bombs happen. But I don't want them being in the back all by their lonesome. They get their butt handed to them, you know, like a monster will pop up out of nowhere sometimes. And these guys are not made for melee right now. Well, the Elder Scoundrel could, probably.
I do
Anyway,
what I must.
here is our spot. Do another quick save. Here is our spot again. We don't want to go in here, because I've been on this floor already. So if we look at our map, there's not only a room here, but there's a room down here, and I think this is where the boss fight is. Over here, there's another hidden room. There's also hidden treasure in this room. Right here, if you don't get it, yeah, there it is. If you didn't get your perception check, you'd have to load your save. That's why I said always save, and this is why. Letter of the Fallen Ranger. Now, that's the last piece of stuff we need before talking to the guy. Now, all this other stuff is just straight up sell material, probably. But I'll take the stuff that I can take for the time being. Check over here, of course, still. There's something in the corner.
Due time.
Don't want to miss out on free loot. Okay. And again, we'll take all that other stuff as we leave. I'm not worried about it. But always you'll find that I always go out of my way to grab the loot that is either something I want or something that I would sell.
Their life
Now you
ends
see what we
here.
got in this room. Spider swarms up to yin yang, a bunch of spiders as well. Now spider swarms, if you've never played this game before, behave like you would think. They're hard to hit. When you do hit them, you probably do minimal damage. But the good thing is there's spells and effects that are AoE that will incinerate these bastards. Bombs being the fine example. Now I'm not going to have Jubilost do anything until Dor gets his turn. Why? Because Dor has a fireball spell, as well as some other stuff that's AoE, that can light these guys up. So again, I'm going to give Dor his chance to take out as many as he can. Like so. Boom. Managed to take out 4 piles of them and still left the big guys. Still got more here, here, and here, and probably some on, yeah, off the map that we're not really seeing. But definitely moving, oops, in the right direction. Knock, knock. Just gonna have you come over here, bro. Wait your turn. Eliza, she has moves like that too, but hers aren't quite as impressive. But she also has the ability to summon pets. Now, we have Berlani Azada. She's a good or a neutral character. So you see how this one is split between 2 different names? Berlani Azada is for the good heroes or the neutral heroes. If you're evil, you summon red caps. And actually, I kind of prefer the red caps, sadly. But you have to be evil to do it. The reason I like them better is not that the Berlani Azada are not amazing. Well, here, I'll just show you. Berlani Azada have their own spellcasting ability. And they don't give no F's about who's on their team. They will literally start spamming lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, and fry your team. So if you want to be protected, make sure your team buffs you up with some protection from electricity, which I don't think we actually have on this team. Now Proto, is the character we have right now. She has the ability to shoot these guys with her bow, her crossbow. Downside is again, if you hit them, you can do minimal, if any, damage. The best way to hit them is with elemental stuff I've found. So if you hit them with, like, say, an acid cantrip, that's not the worst thing ever. And I think she can get sneak attack, but I don't know if it works on these guys. Apparently no. And you can see, if you pause the game, you can see their health bar above their heads. So that's did a considerable amount of damage. So these guys don't have a ton of health. It's the fact that they bum rush you and they basically crawl all over you and attack you while they're doing that, and can poison you. Now we have poison protection, so there's that. Tristan's turn. Now he has his own fireball spell. And again, we have multiple bad guys that we want to incinerate. Hope for the best. That looked like that did what we wanted it to do. So between 2 fireball spells, 1 combat round, we have to take out the real troublemakers in this room. I'm going to buff my weapon, so I actually do more damage with it. And it's easier for me to hit targets. Now this is Primal Spider Matriarch. Quick Spider, and another Quick Spider. I'm going to rush over here next to the Berlani Azada and give him a helping hand. I'm going to do the same with Jubilost. Actually, I'm going to have Jubilost throw an acid bomb on the Matriarch. 2. We missed on that one, but it's got it with a splash. Missed on that one, but got it with the splash as well. So again, did good damage, just would have been better if all 3 had hit. Damn near killed that Quick Spider off though. So I'll take it. Knock Knock's turn.
Come here,
Get over here and
Knock
stab
Knock
this thing
stab
to death.
That hurt?
Solid.
Good.
Now Knock Knock's not very tanky. We have spells on him to protect him, but by and large he is kind of weak. So be aware of that. But I'm waiting for that Azada to go. Ooh, the little stutter step didn't even attack. That's so weird.
Let's hear you cry.
I want to show you that swing. Notice there's a 50% chance to miss that thing. So this thing is either invisible or has displacement on it. Probably it's displacement. Now, there is a spell that we have in our kitty that can make that go away, but I don't think he's learnt it. Oh, he does have it. He just doesn't have it on his... Oh, he does. It's right up here. This is called Fairy Fire. Now, I'm not going to use it now because we almost got this fight over with. And while we may miss, we will kill this thing. I'm not too worried about it. But if you use this one, notice it's got an AoE effect. It basically lights stuff up like a Christmas tree. And it basically takes away their ability to be blurred, displaced, invisible, or anything similar to that. Any kind of concealment. It's just gone. So that minus 50% chance to miss, poof, out the window. He's back to swinging like normal.
I'll
But
try to make
I think
this
we can
swift.
just wail on these guys with spells and AoE attacks. And the random
This will hurt.
weapon swing. Jubilots, I don't want using bombs anymore. So
Will
we'll shoot
they
this guy
ever
up.
learn?
Nice. Ooh, you got a little piece of that one. Go, Juby. Knock, knock.
Which
Show him what you got.
knife to choose?
So you see that tiny little stutter step that he did there? He was not right on top of the matriarch. So he only swung one time. If I would have done 5-foot stutter step and then
Knock
attacked,
knock used to
he
lighting
would have swung
enemies on
6
fire
times.
first.
That's a mistake on my part. Notice if I do the 5-foot stutter step here, she's not close enough to get to him in 5 feet. So you want to go back to just full attack and just have her come over. I forgot to shut it off. Lani Azada, you're letting me down, Sunshine. Where's your lightning bolts? Alright, let's just auto hit it. Something that's basically going to land. Tristan's turn. Go ahead
So
and
it's
shoot
come
it.
to this.
Okay. Dora's turn.
You should have run.
Boom. Put the smackdown on. Okay, so now we want to be, again, real careful in this room. Making sure we don't miss anything, right? So hidden treasure, this is our last chance to find stuff.
Ooh,
For instance.
shiny thing.
Ooh, shiny thing. Click it.
Did it without breaking it.
Take all that. Found a scroll of dimension door. Pretty
I'm
awesome
there.
find. Very rare, by the way. Yeah, there should be a hidden room here.
Positive I found something.
And the reason I only know that is, like I said, I've been here once before.
I
Previous
do what I
game
must.
playthrough. And I happen to remember because I did not find that treasure chest the first time. And that had the secret item. And I had to figure out why I didn't get my special drop item from the main boss we're about to go fight here in a minute or two. So here, treasure, unidentified bracers, armor +6. And it's one of the reasons that you love coming to Tenebra's Depths. It's a steady increase of solid weapons and armor. So again, I have +8 because I cheated and found a easy enough boss fight to beat solo. That's why I'm level 15. But he had like epic gear on him, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I got this kick-ass hat. I got some other stuff besides, like his cloak of resistance +5. She has this necklace +5 natural armor. So again, we're doing pretty good. But she's our tanky tank, and she's only rocking a +5. Let's give her the +6s. Who can I give the +5s to now? Well, she's pretty weak, and having her go from +4 to +5 puts her in a solid place. And again, Tristan's at a +4, so that's still the solid +4 that he's got right now. I can give those to someone back at base and be pretty happy that we came here. Cheap XP for everybody, reasonably easy-ish fights if you know what you're doing, and solid loot besides.
In
Right.
due time. I'm there.
Alright, notice this doofus here.
Aha! A test of my
See,
abilities.
he's getting ready to cast Lightning Bolt right now. He doesn't give no F's about whether your team is in front of him or not, and he will fry your butt. So if you don't have protection from electricity on your team, don't get anywhere near this fool. So I'm going to sidestep this dumbass and hope he
Strike!
lights this guy up like a Christmas tree. A sidestep over here and
Out
shoot.
of my
Give him
way.
plenty of berth for his electric attack. Eliza. She does have protection that she can slap on the team. Now I'm outside of the range of it, but if she does a 5-foot stutter step, I think she can catch me in it now. Like so. There we go. Now we're all reasonably protected from his tomfoolery. He's still gonna fire that shit off, and when you can summon more than one of those guys, the electric arcs that are flying out their hands is truly impressive for wiping out a room and your team. So be real careful with those guys. Knocker's going to come over here and start doing his thing. Oh, straight up missed. Juby. 5-foot stutter step. And shoot it.
A fine use of my talents.
Tristan. Let's watch you over here, kiddo. Okay, now it's Dora's turn. Get in there, so. Nice solid hit. Proto, just shoot it.
Run them through.
Hey, there we go. Alright. Anything we miss here? Doesn't look like it. We have a door, of course. When you're in these areas, like I said, not only is there hidden treasure, traps and whatnot too.
I do what I
A common
must.
spot is, again, like in junk piles, you may miss it perception-wise. I don't know that I did, but there could be stuff like sitting right there. So always give them another once over just to make sure. Same with down the middle. You'll find that there are treasure chests just hidden by the pillars that you just don't see for some silly ass reason
I'm there.
without a perception check. How you can miss a treasure chest sitting right next to a pillar, I don't know, but I guess the cloud obscure. I don't know. It's a game, man. What can I tell you? But now this should be our big fight. This is like literally either the fight or the fight after this will be the boss.
I was successful.
Well, this is the big fight. Okay, so this is a gnarly fight. We may have to repeat this one, just to warn you in advance. This is the guy, the fallen priestess. She is a tool. She has abilities that straight up screw the team over. So you gotta either wail on her, lock her down, or whatever you can do. Now you'll notice that I can cast a acid beam. It's called acidic spray. And a nice tight beam, and I think I can hit her with it. Looks like I can. Can't hit more than just her and a couple of her minions with it. That's okay. 24 damage, and also lit her up, and it gives us the opportunity to do this. She has freedom of movement on, so you're not going to hold her with like a web spell or a grease spell. She's diseased, so it looks like she's going to kick off disease around. Shield of Faith on herself, she just buffed herself up. We'll see her stats in a minute, but oh, she also has Frightful Aspect. Look at what this amazing spell buff does for you. She's bigger, so she gets a bonus to Strength and Con. A huge bonus to her armor. She gets damage reduction 10 against physical attacks, unless they're magic, which most of our weapons are, so we should be fine there. She also gets spell resistance, though, equal to 10 plus half her caster level, and her caster level is at least 15. So let's just say 7, so she's got like a spell resistance of like 17, at least. And she has an aura that she kicks off her that basically fears people, causes them to be shaken. And that could make your team start running away or running in crazy directions, like into, say, a trap. Notice how she's a level 19 character altogether, and neutral. The reason that this is important is because we have weapons, for instance, and spells that will target evil creatures. Gives you more damage. This is not an evil creature. It's a chaotic creature. And again, there's weapons that target chaotic creatures. So if you want to, this is your chance to pull out those. They're called anarchic or axiomatic, something like that. Is the upgrade that we're talking about. But it's a solid like 2d6 of extra damage per swing. But notice that, let's say her hit points. You know, anything else about her, how many hit points that she has. We know she's got a solid con. Her strength sucks, but who cares? She's probably a caster. High wisdom, which means as far as her saving throws are concerned, she's probably the weakest for fortitude, and then next weakest for reflexes. That's okay. We have many of those types of spells within our party. Notice that we have a retarded number of these damn gobos to deal with. So this is why having someone like this, and just say, you know what? Here's a bunch of pets to deal with. Deal with them.
Strike as one.
Goes a long way. Now, she may kill them, she may fear them. That could be a total thing. But until that time, we've got a definite advantage on our side. And we have pets that we can summon that are not feared, I think, the skeletons. Tanky as all hell. Now, talking about those skeletons, we also have this other one, which we never get to use, called Summon Swarm Squirrels. This is a spell that I have that you don't if you're playing the vanilla version of the game. This came with the mod Eldritch Arcana. Amazing spell. Just like those spider swarms that we were fighting not too long ago, there's, in this game, rat swarms, just like it sounds. But the rat swarms in this one are supposed to be squirrels, so it's kind of like you have to kind of disbelieve it. Oh, it takes a full round of casting, though. I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. Alright, well then if we can't do that, let's just take out this fool. 38 from Bone Shaker, very nice hit. There goes her Aura of Madness. Now here's where we have problems. Alright, so Knock Knock is already up in these guys' face.
Easier if you not fight back.
So might as well have him help finish him off. Jubilost. It's time to get bombing with it, buddy. Boom. Looks like we got one. I'm going to split him wide in case I need to have him come in from the side and mess with this lady. Tristan. He has skeletons. We never get to use them, but here we go. Anything that can keep her as far away from me as possible is my goal here. See the ruin? Someone fell down into the pit. Now, there's a way to make that go away. I'm not sure how to. I think it's just Dispel Magic targeted. But I don't think we have that learnt on anybody's spell book. Nope. The only thing I can think of is the spell that I took out that allows us to teleport. I might be able to teleport her and the team in a different direction. But that's the ruin pit that she cast a spell not too long ago. So she showed it to you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh no, that was me attacking. Where did you go, kid? Goblin, 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 goblin. Aura of Madness. She has that. That's that aura sticking around her right now. And she also casts a spell, Rift of Ruin. That's the spell that's in here right now. Look at what this thing does, though. Just constant bombardment of damage for many, many, many rounds. Now, there's like a reflex check to get out of there. She may get out of there, but she may not. And until she does, she's going to constantly take damage. I think I can stand near it, though, and AoE heal with, say, Tristan, and heal her up. We'll have to find that out. But we don't want to have these people over here. If we can help. Oh, actually, I can't AoE heal because he took out my undead. Oh, that's straight up sus. Okay, well, then we need to really get on her and take her out as best we can.
Don't hold back!
That was solid damage. I'll take that. Eliza, do you have the Dispel Magic by any stroke of luck? No, you do not. Okay, I'm going to have you move. You can't get too close to this thing because even where she was standing, she could technically fall in it. So you want to be away from the rift. Even if you're not walking near it, you definitely want to give it a wide berth because you can. It's sloped and you can fall into it. But she's moved
Do
there.
not hold
She might as well try to attack. Okay, she makes she's going to take damage down in there every round until we solve that problem. And may kill her. Knock Knock, do me a favor, bro, and solve this trap problem. I don't like not being able to charge forward if we have to.
I did it.
Nice.
I did.
Jubilost.
A
Over
clever
here and bomb her.
ploy.
Just outside the range. See that? That's beautiful. That's exactly what I was hoping for. That's why we bring Jubilost. Oh, he's about half dead. Tristan, come over here. Auto hit move. Oh, failed to overcome. Yeah, the 19 spell resistance. Oh, he rolled badly. Alright, not your fault, Triple. Should have been smarter. Took out like the small fry. Alright, Dora's turn.
This will hurt!
Eliza's turn. Why don't you hit this one? Oh, what the hell was that? She straight up, oh, destruction. Necromancy spell, no less. Oh, you bastard. Ooh. Yeah, she has a vulnerability to necromancy spells. That's something that you guys don't have in the vanilla game, spell vulnerability. I took a vulnerability to all the different spells types. One type, excuse me, for each character on purpose, because when you do that, you can get an extra feat. So I did that so she could have an extra feat and like, make it build a little bit better. But there's ways around it. I'll give it another go. Maybe. She's dead, so that's a good start. Christian. Now here's the thing, this is how we have to try to do this. Oh, good lord, she has 212 damage. That might not be something we can do. Okay. Pressing L should make the rift go away. Get away from that thing. Now we need to get her back on her feet. She's dead. We specifically bought a... I didn't think I was going to need it, honestly. But we bought a scroll of Raised Dead to replace the one we lost not too long ago. There we go. That's what we want. Okay. I don't want to be anywhere near that thing, so we might want to wait until that goes the way of the dodo. So we'll actually just pull the team over this way. We'll loot the bodies as well. Oh, nice loot, by the way. Heavy shield, breastplate, belt, helmet, amulet, and the super secret item. This is the item that she will not drop unless you have all four of those items we talked about earlier. So this is the robe of the fallen priestess. I'll read it in a moment. Now that this thing's gone, I'm going to have him res our team. Sorry, kiddo. Nothing we can do about when you straight up get killed like that. It took so much health from her. It would have taken probably 2 concentrated healers or like a... Well, probably could have done it, but you would have needed like a heal spell. And that's straight up a big money item. Oh, that's a judgmental gaze. That's pretty. Now notice this. Shroud of swirling darkness blocks the path. It is surrounded by maddening voices, whispering, crackling, screaming, incoherent phrases in unknown languages. That means you can't go further. We just took out boss number 2. Having said that, we definitely want to do our level up for Tristan. Level 10 cleric, very nice. Halfway there, baby. And since he's doing well, might as well have him continue to go use magic device, I guess. Sure, why not? Now that's more spells per day for him. Let's grab him another what? Freedom of movement. Dismissal. We could have his own summon monster. Death Ward. And I don't know that Death Ward would have protected her from that destruction spell, by the way. For those of you that are saying, oh, why don't you just protect her from that? I don't know that it works that way. It may have. At the very least, it may have given her a bonus, because it is a death spell as far as I know. But immune to energy drain and negative energy, that's the reason you use that thing. In my opinion. But Death Ward, and he's got another level 5 spell. Let's grab another... Oops. Let's grab another Flame Strike. Those are good. Or I could do... Well, let's actually change that up. Hold on. Oh, I could do Raise Dead. You know what? Let's just do that so he has the ability. I'm just making sure he doesn't have Heal on the list here. I think it's a level 6 spell. That's probably why. Okay. That way we always have the ability to raise somebody and I don't have to think about it. And you'll notice also...
Our time has come.
She should be at a penalty. Shouldn't appear to be, though. Maybe they changed it? She should have been that Raised Dead was a penalty for her, let's say, levels. When you get res, like until you like officially rest, I think you're at like a -1 or -2 negative level, but I don't see it on her. So anyway, we're done here, so it's time to bounce back upstairs. Talk to the dragon, and then of course I'll read that gear, the robe of the fallen whatever, to show you the story. Again, it progresses the story. Each time you find one of those hidden items, it progresses the story. The
Follow if you
teleport
dare.
will give us the option of looting the dungeon. Highly recommend you do so. It's your last chance to take it. Well, not last chance. It's your chance right now to take everything that you missed, take it to the vendor and sell it. Now, we have 2 more bosses to fight down there before we even get to the main boss, the Spawn of Rovagug, and that guy is a tool. You think that some of these fights are like, this is kind of cheesy? No. Spawn of Rovagug is just like the worst. Let's though read. First, let's pass out that natural necklace. Thank you, Tristan. What else did we pick up from her? Judgmental Gaze. Bonus to Wisdom. Bonus to the Inquisitor Judgment, for how many times you can use it in a day. That's something we'll give to our actual Inquisitor back home, Jaethal. Our Inquisitor doesn't have that ability. But the Wisdom bonus would be actually pretty awesome for her, but she already has that, so this is kind of overkill. We also picked up a Wisdom Headband. No one on the team that needs that. Well, maybe Tristan, but he already has this. We picked up, incredible Dexterity Belt. Anyone need a belt? No. Looks like we're doing good there. She has scrolls that she can copy. Bear's Endurance, go ahead. And looks like we picked up Teleportation. Highly recommended that she has every spell that she can have. And this, of course, was the story item. So, Robe of the Fallen Priestess. An oath of sorts is written in blood upon the dirty robe. Although the ancient fabric has grown feeble, the inscription is not worn or faded. Each scarlet letter remains clearly legible. I, Tiyoko Sakasama, renounce Desna and all her teachings and return to the fold of Mother Lamashtu. I swear I will serve her loyally to the end of my days, and if the Mother so pleases, beyond my death as well. I repent of my betrayal and will gratefully accept any punishment. In her mercy, Mother Lamashtu promises to fulfill one single wish. She will deliver my friends from their madness, Rubgendras, Manush Vufk, Smaragda, Ferdu, and Liafella Zemere, and transport them from this dungeon where we wander trapped. Let them be taken to the place in Sandpoint where first we met safe and sound. O Mother, reverently I deliver my soul into your hands. I swear to do everything in my power to destroy the abominable spawn of Rovagug which corrupts this dungeon with its nightmares and deliver its slaves to their death, especially the silver dragon called Zellerin. That's the other vendor up here. Tiyoko Sakasama, loyal child of Lamashtu. And again, just like the shield, where is that at? Well, let's do type. Just like the shield that we found on the last boss that had the dragon is evil, basically, then it's again telling us the story. That the dragon has something to do with some of this mess. I'm going to sell off this stuff. I'm just going to do a quick check on the magic, or the necklaces and stuff, because sometimes those things you want to keep. I don't need those rings. Don't need... I really don't need that headband. I don't even think I need that dexterity belt. Might as well just strip sell it. And the shield. Oh, the breastplate +2. Natural armor. Nice little chunk of change. Doing good. Getting our coffers back up to where they need to be. Alright, I don't want to buy anything from him, but I do want to go talk to the dragon about this foolishness. We do have to heal her up. She got pretty wasted in that damn dungeon. Remember, she's undead. So the way that she gets healed is with inflict wound spells. Like so. See that?
Confide in me.
I will not.
That's why I made sure my Inquisitor had the ability to both heal and hurt. Because the hurt is actually something that would benefit our undead teammates. You probably wouldn't go that route. But if you're kicking an undead with you, or your main character is the undead, then you definitely want to do such things. Alright. Now, quick save that mess. A dragon. I've killed the fallen priestess. I remember what she was like when she entered the cave. Quiet but resolute, she radiated the light of a noble heart, which had once lost its virtue, but found the strength to regain it. The darkness of insanity and the power of evil deities turned this light to darkness, but I am sure if her former self had met the monster she'd become, she would have slaughtered it without a qualm, just as you have. A rush of madness has passed, and the veiled darkness has been drawn. I managed to go further than before into the dungeon, without the risk of becoming a puppet to the forces of evil. I have returned with some powerful items. I think they will interest you. I found something in the dungeon that makes me doubt your sincerity. You see anxiety in the dragon's pearly eyes. You have the right to doubt, but be assured that my intentions are pure. I hide nothing from you. Tell me what have you found, and I will clear away your doubts. Read what was written on this robe. The fallen priestess didn't kill her friends. She saved them, and she calls you a slave of Rovagug. Oh, really? So she sacrificed both her life and her soul for her friends? She compelled an evil goddess to perform a good deed, but in return submitted herself to the power of evil? The dragon shakes his scaly head. Oh, mortals, your lies are ephemeral, but capable of holding such nobleness that is hardly imaginable to transcendent beings. But her accusation causes you concern. She calls me a slave of the beast? I should think that Lamashtu herself twisted her mind towards this lie. If the priestess had only come to me, I would have freed her from her service to the evil goddess. By persuading the poor woman that I was among her enemies, Lamashtu made sure she would never come to me for help. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted you. Alright, need supplies. Let's see if she has new supplies. Doesn't look like it. Said he did, but didn't. Maybe it will be the next time we come back. There is one item that I would consider grabbing. It's this Mithril Full Plate +2, and we've earned it. I think I'm going to take it with us. It's something that I'll give someone like Valerie or even Harem. They both wear full plate, and giving them Mithril Plate will mean that they're not as slow in battle. So, a definite upgrade for them. And it's a +2 piece of armor besides. Now, it's been over an hour, so let's actually cut the video here. We'll start it back up again, but I'll be right back.